Thanks for joining me here on this Tuesday evening. I am Brandon Neal with the Be Progressive Show. And tonight we're just going to do a little bit of a wrap up kind of all this crazy election nonsense and the lawsuits and the unbelievable conspiracy theories and crazy lawyers and ooze dripping off people's heads and lawyers getting fired because they believe in CIA craziness. And it's just, how else would 2020 end though? I mean, what did you expect? So it looks like, if you read the major news outlets, that Trump has all but conceded and it's pretty much done and that's the end of it. And if you read, the several of these articles here on CNN or on, major news networks, oh yes, the transition can now finally begin and everything seems great. But then you pop over to his Twitter account and he is, I concede nothing. And then he posts videos, and I'm going to have to play this for everyone because this is, if you didn't see this, this is crazy. The president
Fox News daytime
States
ratings have completely collapsed. Weekend daytime, even worse. Very sad to watch this happen. But they forgot the word. They forgot what made them successful. What got them there. They forgot the golden goose. The only difference between the 2016 election and 2020 is Fox News.
Okay. The President of the United States retweeted that. I don't know if people are familiar, my audience, what little I have, is familiar with Randy Quaid, but we all know Randy Quaid's a crazy person, and this really isn't about Randy Quaid. This is about the President of the United States retweeting someone like this and then saying they don't concede, yet are allowing everything to move forward. I mean, there was no bombshell. There was no Kraken. There was nothing. There was the typical amount of voter fraud that we have every year, which is very, very, very small. It had nothing to do with Trump losing at all. Trump got his ass kicked. I'm sorry, but it was the same 306 as he had beat Hillary, except he lost by 6 million votes now. I mean, I honestly can't wait till Twitter just takes this account away from this guy. I mean, he's crazy. Who does these kind of things? Half the tweets that he has that comes out now have warnings or disclaimers saying that they're just straight up not true. Oh, Lou Dobbs. Man, Lou Dobbs wants to be Donald Trump so bad. Look at that poor bastard. I mean, he's even starting to go orange. That guy, whew. That is if you look up the word sycophant in the dictionary, you're going to see Lou Dobbs, Dinesh D'Souza, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham. Oh, man, these people. So, I guess we're moving on, but I don't know. With Trump, we may be moving on today, maybe tomorrow, maybe not at all. Who knows? But, really the better question here is where, after this is all over with and Trump moves on, his base isn't going anywhere. But I also don't suspect that his base is going to have really anything to do with him after this is over. Honestly, I don't. They only honestly would have latched onto any candidate whatsoever that was put up against Hillary Clinton in 2016. It really would not have mattered who got it. I mean, it could have been Rubio or, it could have been Bush or whatever. And these same core of people would have flocked to that person regardless because they hated Hillary so much. And which is almost what's happened now in 2020 with people flocking to Biden because they hate Trump so much. And they want to, I hear a lot that the Trump supporters say, well, I never saw any Biden signs. I never saw any Biden stickers. And I live in a Democratic state. And I should, and the simple answer to that is no one cares about Joe Biden. No one is enthusiastic about Joe Biden. Him or Hillary Clinton couldn't excite a first grade class with a box of puppies. But they weren't Trump. So I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's just his base is going to follow whoever is not a Democrat, and they're going to dump him as soon as he's done. And he concedes, and we move on here in a few months. There's not going to be. These people are not still going to try and follow this guy or trying to get Don Jr. or whatever. I mean, his whole family is going to be tied up in lawsuits. And it's a very good possibility several of them, including him, may end up in prison. And, they're not, this radical base on the right wing, they're going to latch on to somebody else. And I don't know who that person is right now. I mean, there are a few that I think are close, but none of them were like Trump, really. Maybe Tom Cotton. I think he's pretty radical. I don't know. I don't know who I saw the polls that came out for who the Republicans would like to see run in 2024, and of course Trump is at the top. But below that, it's really a bunch of a whole list of 10 or 12 people that were all really small numbers. So it seemed as if no one was really excited about anybody in the Republican Party to run in 2024 except for Trump, and I don't think that's going to happen. Trump's going to go away, and he's going to be so tied up in legal battles and things. I don't think we're going to hear a lot out of Trump. And honestly, we're tired of hearing the name, and we're tired of dealing with him. So we'll see. I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot, but I just I don't know what's going to happen post-Trump. It's a very interesting time and very crazy political atmosphere right now that we will maybe never see again. So as far as who Joe Biden is putting in his cabinet, he, for all you Republicans who think that Joe Biden is a far left socialist, let's take one look at that cabinet, dude. Joe Biden is a Republican through and through. He has been a Republican his whole career. He's just a centrist, right-leaning Democrat. Him and Hillary, they're no different. And we're not as social democrats or as people that are actually truly on the left. We don't expect anything from this 4 years. There's no way. You think you can move a guy that immediately puts in these people in his cabinet before he hasn't even taken power yet, and he's already putting, the big oil people, he's putting in pharma people. You can't move this guy, and you're not going to. And don't give me that shit that Kamala's going to move him, because trust me, she's no different than he is. Their views are really not all that different. So I don't know. Trump's gone, and now we have him, and he's better. At least he's not a complete moron. At least I think he can handle coronavirus a hell of a lot better than Trump. I'll say that. But honestly, I saw a list of his first 100-day executive orders, and he, back in the Paris Climate Agreement, try and renegotiate a deal with Iran. He has a lot of good things on there, I'll say that. But really the major hitters for us social democrats, the Medicare for all, legalization of marijuana, the $15 minimum wage federally, which still isn't really enough. It's better than $7.50 or whatever it is now. Free tuition-free college for community colleges. These are all things that Joe Biden could do that he has absolutely no interest in and has said so. So don't expect much now that Trump's gone, but we'll see what we can do. Let's just get coronavirus under control at this point. Really, that's the best. If Joe Biden can walk in his 4 years and do a few good things and get coronavirus under control, I'll be perfectly happy with Joe Biden. So.